Good evening, MML. This is your Season 18 Challenge Playoffs preview. I'm going to obviously be doing it today because apparently tomorrow it's all getting on. So what better to do than get myself a co-announcer, and I've got one of the best Blood Bowl players in the world, as everyone will know if they saw my pro players preview. It's none other than the Wood Elf Master, or shall I say the Halfling King now, Hawca. Good evening, buddy.
Good evening, how are you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm pretty happy because I think I have my challenge team sorted for next season. Finally.
Fabulous.
Finally. I thought I wasn't going to get one, but thanks to Preach and the admins, it looks like I've been given the green light to bring some carnage and fun back. So, all good about that.
Fabulous news, indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
But enough about that. That's for another season. What we need to talk about today is the 8 teams. Before everybody shouts at the screen and says, Bernie, there's only 7 teams there, you're getting old, bless you can't count anymore. Unfortunately, the other team hasn't taken their ticket yet, but I will back out of it, and we'll obviously have a look at it as well, so don't worry. Like we did on the pros preview playoff, we're going to go in twos in the matches they are, and the first match is the Wood Chippers versus Green Meat, so we'll talk about them, and then obviously me and Hawk will give you our predictions for who we think will win. But before I do that, I'll just stop my fan, because hey, you know, I don't want that coming through on my talk. So, let's get on with it. So, the Wood Chippers. Right, Clown Zombie. Have I played this guy before? I'm going to say no and say I apologise if I have. Oh, God, what a team this is. Right, over to you, Hawker. Let me know what's so good about this team. And don't forget, this is a Wood Elf team, so obviously you are a Wood Elf coach. So I'm interested to see what you think about this team.
This team, you've got, looking at, I mean, I've talked about this team in previews, and our War Dancer at the beginning, he's a bit slower than normal. That Strength 4 is going to be brutal with the Mighty Blow, the Tackle, and the Frenzy. He's just, if not looked after properly, he's going to be a nightmare for Clown. But he's played with him all season, he's made the playoffs. I don't know where he finished in the seeding, but, you know, he's there for a reason, so he obviously knows what he's doing. The bit I don't like, although you can never not like a War Dancer, is he's got carrying a rookie there. So that means Sparrow's doing all the donkey work, and that Bug player is going to have to play second fiddle. That's not a problem unless Sparrow goes down. If you nullify the War Dancers on a Wood Elf team, you know, you cause big problems. Is that 3 catches he's got? 2 with agility 5, they win games. He's got, is that, ooh, I'm just spying something here.
Just what spot?
Turtle with Wrestle, Dauntless and Tackle.
That's good.
Give him Strip Ball eventually, but he's got agility 5. This guy's going through gaps.
Would you not be tempted? I know a lot of the other players got Leap, but wouldn't you be tempted to get Leap next? 2+ into a cage?
Yeah, possibly. At the moment, he's going into a cage on a 4, a standard 4-point cage. See, part of it is the whole, and I know this is a subject for a different day, but this guy would be great at getting in a cage. Well, if you're playing somebody that's going to allow you to get into a cage as you plan, you probably don't need him anyway to win.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they should be doing things within their game to counter. But what's interesting is 2 of those catches he's put Wrestle on.
Yep.
And Dauntless on. So he's got 2 ball sackers potentially in those catches. Not a preferred move of mine. I don't like it. But that eases a lot of pressure on the War Dancers, allowing the War Dancers to be elsewhere, do other things, look at the next turns. I don't like the fact that the Tree Man's missing. I'm guessing the team he's playing, because I have no idea, judging by their names, are probably Orcs.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to miss that Tree Man.
Yeah.
He's going to miss it.
I don't mind the wrestle catches, for what it's worth.
No, it's a preference thing. He's got a agility plus sure hands leap lineman with dodge. Great player. Potentially, I reckon his ball carrier can get the ball anywhere in the field on a 4+. Obviously, he's very manoeuvrable with dodge and leap. So, there's a lot of potential to just score in this team and stop. It's just how long do they live for?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's basically how long do they live for.
He's built a team, very different to mine. He's built a very aggressive, to me, aggressively defensive team, whereas I would build mine very almost passively aggressive with the blodging and the sidesteps, causing the frustrations, waiting for the gap. This team's going to force the gap, and both works. And both can get smashed up, but the more contact you have, the more you get smashed up. But he's got the agility to be able to deal with the problem instantly, get out of dodge, and score. In which case, he's no longer in base contact anymore.
I think this team is the top seed, and their record was 5 wins, 2 draws, no losses in the season gone.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that these may be the top seed. I don't mind the team. Like I say, I get the 2 catches. I like the way the 2 catches are built. But he's all this agility 5 stuff popping all the place. I do like Sparrow. I think he's really nice. But again, like I say, it depends how. He might have only just lost to the War Dancer. That's maybe why Bug's not got many. He hasn't got any XP.
Well, if you look at the stats from last season, 16 catches in 7 games. That means he's shifting that ball around a bit, or he's farming points. Farming points is a thing, I get that. So that'd be interesting to know. But an average score of 2. So he's scoring 2 every game.
That War Dancer's played 4 games and has got 0 XP. That would concern me. Sure, there must have been a time where he could have picked the ball up and thrown it to a catcher.
Well, this is it. And that goes back to what I was saying about the other guys are doing all the donkey work and he's sitting waiting. Now, we're in the playoffs now, so he hasn't got time or he hasn't got the luxury of being able to farm the odd points or chuck the vanity passes. He's got to get a job done, and this team can get the job done against the right opposition. But if that War Dancer goes down, there's a lot of pressure on a rookie War Dancer.
Yeah, that is it. And then I presume if that happens, I think he'll probably lean on the 2 catches more.
Yep.
But to me,
and you can lean on a Wookiee, a Wookiee like Chewbacca. You can definitely. He'll pull your arm off, but yeah, you can lean on the rookie War Dancer. And I know you was looking at my team yesterday, and I've got the 1 witch. Buying a witch elf in that case, a rookie witch, becomes a liability. That War Dancer's not a liability, but he's got a big step up to do to replace or step in if Sparrow goes down.
Yeah.
But he can only play what he's got. It's the playoffs now. This is the business end of the stick,
Well, he's got all this firepower, and then he's got a wizard as well, and they are playing at his ground. The way it was shown on the MML Discord, it's saying that he's at home. If that's the case, I can't hold. If he's at home, they get a free wizard, and that'll obviously help him even more.
But that's how you get a free wizard in there. Catchers are going through tackle zones like there's no tomorrow. That lineman leaps in and picks up a sure hands in a tackle zone on a 2. That's amazing. Gets out wherever he wants. He's only got to give it to something else, and away he goes.
And so the thing is, you can sort of understand why this is an undefeated team, can't you? Because it's got so much going for it. I won't want to play against it.
The home draw for this team is almost worth a win in its own right. If he gets an away draw against the wrong team, he's going to be desperate for that wizard.
So that's that team, and obviously it's an impressive record. Now we're going to have to back out because this next opponent hasn't accepted his ticket yet. So it's Green Meat, and this is his opponent. So I'm saying Green Meat. I think it was. I think if I apologise if I got this wrong, but this could be the lowest seed because obviously the top seed would play the lowest seed. 1840 TV as well. So although he's carrying 50k below as well. So this team, interesting. It's got plenty of mighty blow. It's got 7, 7 mighty blow. Crikey, that's a lot of mighty blow. Not as much guard though. What I would usually, I say not much guard. 4 guard. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think of this team? Looking at the two
Um,
teams, I think this may struggle as it gets the attrition.
the first thing I look at from an elf perspective is tackle,
Yeah.
and I'm not seeing any. I see 1-2 on your blitzers. The blitzers are likely to be his kill pieces. They got tackle, mighty blow. Those two, one's got frenzy. Those two are your killers. You know, they could do the business. It's only armor 7 after all.
Yeah.
They're going to love the fact that there's no tree man in the way. So whatever
yeah.
they face up with, they can bully like orcs bully best. I'm going to base you up. I'm going to make you roll dice. The trouble is, he's dodging away on 2s with re-rolls because he's got
There's
2
not much
tackles.
tackle. Yeah. I mean, he does have an interesting Black Hawk with diving tackle, what's always cute.
Yeah.
I've done that before, so I can't say anything else. You know what I would do though, because I'm against a 5-power Wood Elf team. I don't usually carry them, but I wouldn't mind a Goblin in this team because hey, you know, come on, Troll,
Yeah.
throw me. You know,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have to have something special to beat the Wood Elf team. I think he will come in under the underdog, but number 4 is gonna have to do a lot of the work. But guess what? Number 4 doesn't have tackle.
No, he doesn't. So, I mean, if I was playing orcs against that Wood Elf side, I would be blitzing with number 4 everywhere I can against somebody that hasn't got dodge.
Yeah.
And then save out the number 5 because he's got the movement to recover to
Yeah.
be hitting otherwise.
Yeah.
If you get into a situation where you can force it to the sideline, they've got the troll, they've got the Black Hawks, force to the sideline, can start working that frenzy. The trouble is, double-edged sword, because the War Dancer's got the same.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
I've seen it done, and I've done it myself. It is worth sometimes that 3+ leap to get behind somebody, to serve somebody from behind. Stick
Yeah.
someone near the sideline, say you blitzer with your frenzy, and say, well, okay, then I'm hiding behind this troll, this black hole, or whatever it can be. I'll still surf him, take him off, and deal with the consequences after, because that player's out of the way. He's got to remove 2 players, and that orc team's in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a bad record. He had quite a good record. 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses.
Yep.
So the guy can play. I
Well, he
don't
wouldn't be in the
I've-
playoffs otherwise.
No, I don't think I've played him as well. So again, my apologies if I have. But I don't
Well,
think I have.
I've played as a Wood Elf coach elsewhere against an Orc coach, and I had Blodge aplenty. They had no tackle, and his words to quote were, "This is getting embarrassing," because he couldn't put me down. He was power seeking everywhere, and if it gets to that, Wood Elves win.
Yeah. I think personally, look at this team. I think number 3, Grammar with a frenzy, will probably be doing a lot of the blitzing.
Yeah,
it's
he
an-
runs the risk of frenzy traps, but I don't think the Wood Elves had much sidestep. In which case, he can really exploit that frenzy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a decent team. I mean, obviously, his throws at least got sure hands. He has got kick-off return, what I do like, and he has got movement, but he has no protection against a lot of the Wood Elves. So he's got no block, no dodge or anything like that. So
No. And if he goes with standard cage stuff, he's got, 4 guard, including the troll, and he's got a strength 4 war dancer.
yeah,
That's worrying, because that war dancer's going to get his chances.
yeah. So even though we've said all that, it's prediction time. Who are you predicting to win that game? The Woodchippers or the Green Meat Orcs?
Well, this is the thing, see? If this was a straight choice between the 2 teams, I would actually probably go for the Orcs, because I think they can win the war of attrition. However, unless you're wrong, unless what we've read is wrong, the Clown Zombies Wood Elves are at home, and therefore they've got a wizard, and that's going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a Clown Zombie win.
Yeah, I think it. When I always look at these sort of games, it's like if the Orcs can get on a roll and get attrition, they'll have a great chance. But I just don't see them protecting the ball well enough. I just think there's too many tools on the Wood Elves. It's like, all right, I've took out one of them, but guess what? There's still more coming at you and more coming. He's got the
Yeah.
wizard. I can see the Wood Elves going bang bang 2-0, and then it'll be all over.
I think if the Orcs get the ball and they secure it up in whichever fashion they like to drive, then they're going to score. I don't think the Earls are going to unlock that in that tight defence without a wizard. However, it's getting it to that stage. Arguably, the most important turn of any drive is the first turn, because that's when you secure the ball. That's when you're most vulnerable, and that's when this team's going to be the most deadly.
Yeah, exactly. But it's Blood Bowl. Anyone can win. But I sort of think the Wood Elves got too much firepower. But I'm going for the Wood Elves. I think it could be a 2-0 and then sort of let him waste time and maybe let him have a TD near the end. So 2-1, 3-1. But I think the Wood Elves, personally.
No, see, I'm going to go with 2-1. And the way it's going to go down is either the Wood Elves are going to score, in which case they're going to drive first and score, and they're going to look for that nice quick turnover with the Lightning or with the Wizard to be able to pick up and counter score, or the Orcs going to drive first, the Wood Elves going to just say, do you know what, I'm having to score nice and early, back off, back off, back off, if you score it doesn't matter because I'm going to score an 8 the following.
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah. So we both agreed then we think the Wood Chips will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably going to make sure the Orcs win now, so... Oh well. Right, the next game then. Oh god, these names. Die Orkishan. Is it Brecher or Breaker? How would you pronounce that?
I wouldn't. Die Orkishan Breacher or something like from Zidjay.
Die Orkishan? I don't know, but the Orcs of Zidjay is what I'm going to call them. Let's have a look at this team. The one tribe of the Orc Nation. Okay. Oh, bloody Nora. Look at that, number 8. He's a bit hyped up on juice.
Yes.
What do you think of this team? We just see one Orc team. Here's another one.
Orcs are Orcs, let's be honest. Now, what are they playing? They're playing Nurgle, aren't they? So they don't hopefully need a massive tackle. But I'll tell you what's worrying me, and I'm just seeing all these red crosses, and I'm thinking, well, I can't see any stat problems. What's the problem? The 2 blitzers have got niggling injuries. That's a major issue.
I'll just tell you.
Has got a niggling injury.
I'll just tell you something. What's quite important for your review here is they're playing Thunden's Amazon. They're not playing the Nurgle.
Okay. Louise number 3, loads of strength, fabulous. The niggles worrying me.
But the RAV9.
Just a second.
Oh, look, we've lost him. We've lost him live on air. Are you there? Are you there, Sydney? Are you there? While we're waiting for him.
Just give us a sec. Give us a sec.
Yeah, join us. So while he's just talking away there, so he's concerned about the niggles, and I must admit I don't like niggles myself. The only thing I will say though is they are arm and arm. So if anyone's going to carry niggle, it would have to be an arm and arm. But this number 8 to me, Traha. I mean, wow. Agility 4, Strength 4, Movement 7, and his blodge, and he can hit stuff as well. Oh, what an amazing piece. I love that piece. And this blitz is pretty good. This blitz is obviously, oh god, he's going to be the ball handling. He's got blodge, Agility 4, sure hands, and he's got fend, what I like on this piece. So they're pretty good. The Black Orcs, them two need a little bit more developing. But Strength 5 Black Hawk there, leader of Black Hawk there as well to give him the 4. The Trolls got block. I love the cheeky AV10 on this lamb, and I'm sure he'll be on the lamb. Obviously, this other blitzer is missing this game. Now he's going to be playing against Amazon, and he's got just the 2 tackles. So I would imagine Louis will try his best near the LOS, but there's a lot of sort of reliability on number 9 because number 11 is out. What is a problem? A big problem. Number 9 will have to do most of the work against blodgers, and he doesn't have Mighty Blow. So again, we've just been talking about tackle. Again, there's not much tackle on this team. There's 3, and one of them's missing next game, so there's only 2. Have we got Hawca back?
Yeah, we do. Sorry, the wife was going to bed. The Black Orc could be useful. This Orc team against Amazon needs to drive first, because if they don't, they're not going to get to utilise these pieces, and that Black Hawk with tackle Louise can get taken out of the situation. Strength 5, yeah, you go and play over there with all your friends and keep your tackle to yourself. Meanwhile, I'm going to go where I need to go.
Yeah.
The Zidley, I think I've played him. I'm not sure. I think I've played him, but depending on how he approaches this, if he approaches this game, do you know what? I'm going to base you up because you're armor 7. Hopefully, I'm going to have a fight with you. He's going to lose pieces. He's got 3 with niggles. Those armor 9s don't last forever. One breaks, one leaves the pitch. Then Thundam with he's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. He can generate blocks. I've not seen his team, but I'm going to put money on it. He's got more than 4 guard.
Yeah, we'll have a look in a minute. The Breachers have won 4, drawn 2, only lost 1 game. So that's really impressive. And ironically, that was against the Wood Chippers in the last game, where they lost 3-1. So the Chippers got rid of this Orc team. And that's it. To me, that's a big telling sign, because I think this Orc team's stronger than the other Orc team. And the Chippers have already put these to the sword. So,
yeah, they've also got 5 catches, which is a very bizarre number for an Orc team. That's a catch a game almost. Who's catching the ball? Unless they're, or maybe it's those 2 blitzers, the 2 agility 4 blitzers.
He's got 2 agility 4 blitzers, hasn't he? That they'll be doing.
But he hasn't got a thrower. He hasn't got a thrower. Has he got sure hands on one of those guys? I don't see it.
He does. I'll just go back into that team. Just bear with me. I'm sure the agility 4 piece has got sure hands.
Yes, he does. Dodge, fend, agility. Dodge, fend, agility, and sure hands. But he is injured. Target number 1, if he can get his hands on him.
Yeah, but again, he is armor 9.
Yeah, he's armor 9. That's going to go eventually. One mighty blow makes that armor 8. You know.
Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at Thunden's team then.
Let's have a look at Thunden.
I've not seen Thunden's team ever, so this is all new to me.
I've not. He was picked. This team was picked for him by the population.
Ooh. Okay. Bring these doors to the slaughter. Okay.
So, where's the rest of the team?
So what we got? We got 4 guards, so that's good. He's got some nice agility, 2 agility 4 pieces, that helps. 2 movement 7, a bit of mighty blow. It's all right. It's an all right team. 1700.
They're all right, and they are picking up, 160 in inducements.
That's
so
big.
You could potentially fire in a wizard there or something like that to cause the turnover, and then with your agility look at dealing with that. The mighty blow is going to have its place. He only needs 1 or 2 unless he's basing up. The Orcs are basing up. The Orcs might take that option, which I don't like. Sidestep's going to be a royal pain in the ass. Got a couple of those. An accurate thrower. Why? They're Amazons. I don't even throw with wood elves, let alone Amazons. But each to their own. Yeah, blodge everywhere but 1. If he doesn't have his tackle working, the Orcs could be in bother. But he's only got 11 line women.
Yeah, it does have 210k in the bank. So
he does.
I personally would buy another line woman for definite. So I've got a bench, but that's just the way I play anyway. But because if the Orcs get the power dice rolling, this could be a car crash, because they're only AV7 and a lot of mighty blow, and one of them Black Hawks does have mighty blow and tackle, so he can go around just chomping his way through all these. So it does worry me that there's only 11 players. On the plus side for that, though, he can get himself a wizard if he wants one.
Who's at home? Do we know?
Again, if we're going by the what's on Discord, the home team is the Orcs. Okay. I don't think they even had I don't think they actually had an enhancement. These have got Magic Dome of the women.
I'm just having a look now. I'll tell you what the Orcs have got.
4-2-1 is the record for the Amazon. So 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Just seeing what their loss was. Who did they lose to? Violent Suns they lost to. That possibly could be Amla's team, maybe. Let's have a look. No, it's High Elves.
High Elves, interesting.
I don't know who that. They are in the playoffs, so we will see them shortly. But that's who we lost to. It's a funny one. This is a really tough one to decipher. Who do you think's got? Who do you think's got to win this one?
Difficult to say. Thunder's a great coach. I often joke and jest with him, and we pull each other's legs and whatnot. The whole English Welsh thing. He's a great guy. I've played him on the tabletop. He does know what he's doing. He's won the MML. My concern is the Orc team is just stronger. They have got the armour to protect the niggles. Not just that, they've got what it needs to. Once they go 1 or 2 players up, the Amazons are in big trouble because then they can really put the bully on them. If the Amazons had 13 players, I'd be calling it different, but I think I'm going to have to go with Zidley's Orcs. It's going to be close. It might even see overtime.
Yeah. See,
I think coachability, I'd have to give the edge to Thunden.
Right.
He's a champion. He knows what he's doing on coachability. The team, this is their first season. I just think the Orcs are going to be too much for him.
Yeah. They're not. Yeah. It's awkward for me because I always like to know the coaches. I don't know Zidri. I know Thunden. If Thunden was the Orcs, I would say Thunden no problem.
Yeah.
But this team's not great matchup for the Orcs. But the Orcs are able to tackle. I just don't like. There's no bench. I really don't like that. And the thing is, he could buy an Amazon woman, and his team value will be the same because he's carrying 60 blow anyway. So.
Yeah, and he may look at that option. Depends if he's looking for a save. Now, if he's saving up for that transfer, what's he bringing in? He's already got 4 blitzers. So what's he saving for? That's the question. What's he saving for? Because if it's a line woman, she'd have to be something special not to want to start over. It could be replacing number 4. You stand firmer. In which case, play it out, do your best, see you later, bring in a new one. 3 or 4 skills, just shy of 200k, in which case there's a ratification and justification there. Is he playing to build for the pros, or is he playing to win the CL? Because this is a different set of playoffs to the pros. The pros is the big one. What's this for these 2 coaches? Some people, they want to win it, and some people, they're in the next division. They've gone up to the pros, hopefully, get to the finals. I think it's 2 that go up, but either way, I want to go to the pros. Largely speaking, the playoffs aren't such a big deal because it's the lower tier of playoffs. Thunden's very professional about what he does, so I can't see it being that. But that has an impact on what you purchase and buy.
Yeah. So I would, if it was me personally, I'd be like, right, you know what? I'm going to buy myself a player because if I win, I'll get money, and then I'll get money for the next game. But you're thinking the Orcs will probably just do it.
Yeah, I mean, if he chucks in 50k, 12 players, it starts to tip the balance a little bit because the bench is massive, I think, in this case. He can replace 50k at the end of that game, so it depends on what his purchase is going to be. It's a difficult one. He has got 150k, so he could pick up, 2 line women, I believe, off the top of my head, in which case that's his line of scrimmage sorted.
Yeah, I think I'd probably buy 2 of them, but he definitely needs 1, and one on a wizard might help. But
well, incidentally, I don't know the policy on transfers. Not transfers. I believe for the MML you can chuck cash in.
You can,
but the Orcs have only got 10 players, which means Thunder actually due 210k.
In that case, then it's 2 Amazons. It's not even worth thinking about.
Is it, or is it? If it's all about winning the playoffs, chuck in 40k and take Roxy. Roxana Darkblades is agility 5, movement 8, leaps wherever she wants to go, frenzy with Juggernaut. You don't even need to use her, and she has an impact on the game. He hasn't got the tackle to deal with her. He's not going to get free shots at her. He's too good with his positioning. And a spilt ball somewhere, or something goes loose, or a lone player, and she'll be on him like a flash.
Yeah, I don't know. She's quite brittle.
She is if you hit her.
And the thing is, as well, with her being a loner, leaping,
Yeah.
I'm quite negative. I'll be like, oh yeah, there's my one splat gone. I think
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good pick, and I think someone like you would certainly would use that. I just think 2 extra line women gives me 13 players and a wizard. I'll blast him, take the ball off him. Thanks very much, and go. I'm just thinking how I would play this team.
The if he goes with the wizard, I don't think wizards are great. They'll stop the touchdown. I don't think they'll give you a touchdown with Amazons. Now I'm just trying to recall. Is it additional 30k for a loner? I believe.
Yes,
so
it is.
a linewoman's going to be 80k. So that means he can pick up 2 linemen for 160k.
Yeah, but why?
And still have 50k in the bank for a babe, which is going to be massive. He's then playing with a 13-man bench, a 13-man team, 2 on the bench. The babes in there to help get them back from KOs. That changes the dynamics massively and could actually quite easily tip it in his favour.
But you're still going
So
with
it's
the
all
Orcs?
about those endorsements.
As it stands, you would still go with the Orcs, though.
It's all down to it. Now he's quite shrewd. I think he'll use his inducements wise. If he goes with that, I think it can be Thundern, but it's down to how he spends his cash.
All right. Okay. Well, I've always been a big believer. If I know one coach and I know he's good, and I don't know the other coach, then I go with the coach I know, even though I would wish he was Orcs. So I'm gonna tip I'm gonna tip Thundern because I know what I get from Thundern. The other guy might easily win, but I don't really know him, so I got to go by Thundern. And I think, me personally, buy yourself 2 line women because hey, why not? And then get yourself a wizard. That 13 players with a wizard, I think he'll do it. Babes would be good as well, but yeah, I think. In fact, he would be able to. Let's have a look. You say he's got a 210.
210.
He might even be able to get a babe as well. Two line women, a wizard, and a babe. Boom.
Yeah. No, if he bought 2 line women, he might be able to. Yeah, he might be able to.
And plus, he can sling cash if you want. Like you said, it's like you said. It depends how bad he wants to make the playoffs. That's the thing. I think he's going to have to spend to make it. Because if he goes in with just 11 players, he is asking a big risk. The other problem, what might put him off though, is there's a very good chance if he does win this game, he's going up against the wood chippers, the wood elves. But then wood elves are only AV7, so I don't know. But I'm gonna stick with Thundern, and I'll predict Thundern will get it done.
I think it's going to be very close. It's going to be to the wire. Yeah, I really do.
And the thing as well is obviously Thundern played Orcs a lot, so he knows the strengths and weaknesses of Orcs, so that should help him as well. Right, let's have a look at the team. What actually was the only team to beat the Amazons, Violent Suns, wherever they are, and it's Professor X.
Professor X, yes.
Yeah. So let's have a look at this team with the Violence of the Sun.
Now, I recognise this team.
Right.
While you have an initial summary, I'm going to go in search and find out why I know these.
Well, the first thing what stands out to me is number 3, an agility 6 leaping blitzer. Interesting. Goes where he wants, when he wants. I presume he'll basically be given the ball just to go and score. Number 4, the catch is not bad. Blodge, mighty blow, strip ball tackle. He's all right, but he has got a stat down, so his -1 agility was terrible for him, poor lad. I don't mind the blocks and the blitzer number 2, Pollux. His throw is pretty decent as well. Dodge, accurate, nerves of steel, safe throw and pass. That's not bad. And again, another one carrying blow. All I can think of is they're all trying to save for a transfer. That's all I can think of this, because this is a lot of players, or maybe they're just saving up because they know the next game's the playoffs and they want to be spending some inducements. Maybe, I don't know.
It depends when you go into that playoff space what you're looking for. I can only speak for me personally. My intention this season wasn't necessarily playoffs. It was mid-table, compete against the likes of Gerd and Tripp, two of the best coaches in the MML,
Yeah.
prove my value, my worth, and see where I finish up. I finished up in second.
Did you just say Tripp being one of the best?
Well, he's won the MML, so he's got to be in that group.
Oh, Hawca, I can't believe it. Tripp will be like, there you go, Bernie. Shut up, Bernie.
He's beaten me twice. I've got to say that.
Hey, if he's beating the Hawca, I'm not saying no. Yeah.
And then I've got into the playoffs. I've got my eyes on a player. It's a case of I don't really think I can win this. Yes, I'm in with a shout. I've got a team that could do it, but let's be realistic. It's about next season, and this season's a bonus. So for me, that bloke doesn't matter. If I was somewhere like where Gerd is, where he's got his team's built, he's got 16 players, unless he's looking for something special, you're thinking, I want to trim this fat and make sure I'm rolling the direction I want to roll.
Yeah.
So it depends on where these coaches are. This guy's saving for something.
It's a lot of. I always moan about TV, but this is a lot of TV for this team. I think he's got a few good players, and he's going to be leaning on them few good players. Where when you look at the wood chippers, they've got game winners or match winners everywhere. Yeah. This team doesn't. This has a few very good ones, but and one of them players has only got agility 3 now, so that's disastrous.
Yeah, and he's a catcher.
Yeah,
catchers are your scoring pieces. They do. I don't know. I'm not a Wood Elf, Pro Elf type player, but from what I understand, your catchers end up becoming blitzing pieces, and your blitzers become support pieces. Now, if that's the case, you can make that work, but they've got catch for a reason. There's the cheeky handoff, off you go and score. There's the cheeky handoff, change your position. You don't want to be doing that with an agility 3. He's arguably the last dodge of the go as well.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will state though, this guy, obviously very good. Again, I haven't played many of these coaches. So I'm in the dark, but his record: 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Like I said, he was the only team to beat Thunder's Amazon, so that's good in itself.
Definitely.
And he was 4-2 as well, so it wasn't just a scrape. He actually gave it a good kicking. The only team he lost to was Chaos, I think. Chaps.
Yeah, if you go a touchdown or 2 up with L's and somebody's chasing, it just leaves gaps and exposes. Yeah, if they score, it doesn't matter. I'm going to score another one. Oh, there's a gap. I'll take that. There's another one. Scores can get flattered really quickly.
Yeah, can go downhill pretty quickly, can't they? But he will be playing against Nagel though. This guy's playing against Nagel. So
what's the team name?
So let's have a look at the Nagel. It's 313th Nagel Brigadiers. HC Van Zello. Let's have a look at this monstrosity. So this is, to me, this is like a typical Nagel team. It's still in its development stage. It's got 2 tentacles, what's always helpful. He's got a very nice ball carrier. But that's really it at the moment. I mean, number 3, I'm sure he'll be pretty good when he gets another skill. He may attempt to go claw, or he may be going for a tentacle thing. No guard. Well, 1 guard, and that's on the beast. And if the beast rolls a 1, he loses that guard. So this team's in transition at the moment for me. It's one of those where he's done well to get into the playoffs, and he'll probably see how he goes from there. 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. So that's not bad. He got beat by Blood of Amber, what I do believe is Alma's Dark Elves, and he lost to Mighty Reds, whoever they are. Sound like a human team. Could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken a few injuries, these guys, more than I'd like to see for a young team in the CL. I don't think these have been around a massive amount of time. So why are these guys that busted up? That number 6 BT, whatever his name is, he's got to be a transfer coming into the team to be where he is. So he's the backbone of that team, and it works. It's a beautiful piece. So why is he taking so many injuries? That's a question. Now the beast is going to be massive for him. Stick that beast on something, 1 or 2 players, and just don't activate him. Leave him there. Do the same with the Noble Warrior on somebody. don't move him unless you need to. Don't even block with him. Just don't, because he's tying 2 or 3 players up. Meanwhile, he's got a 13-man team. I like that. This guy can start stomping on players and removing them. Whatever he doesn't kill through block, he kills by stamping on him.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about kill, dead. I'm talking about removing so he can win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't like a bit like Random Mad's Beast in the Pros, only movement 3. That's
fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
Great, is it? What have two of his warriors though? Armor 8. An armor knockdown. That's horrid, isn't it?
It is. He'll get away with it against the Wood Elves, against the High Elves. Sorry, he'll get away with that, but it's not great.
Yeah.
But I think he'll get away with it.
So out of the 2 teams, where's your money going?
Nurgle.
Ooh, Nurgle. You see, I'm very confident the High Elves can get this done.
Well, the High Elves like their passing plays, generally speaking. The disturbing presence upsets everything about that. Everything. They've got the ability to stick some pain on them because there's not much dodge. So they don't need the tackle, so they can work those Mighty Blow players where they need to.
Yeah.
Armor 8, he's got a claw piece, he's got a Mighty Blow piece. Granted, they're not both on the same, but they only need 1 casualty, to justify what they want. He's got a great ball carrier. How's he going to deal with that ball carrier? Not just that, he's got a decent sized bench. It's 11v13.
Yeah,
he
that's
can
the
afford
concern.
to say, do you know what? I'm going to stomp on this player, and if I get sent off, I don't care. I can stomp on that one. That's the second one sent off. Doesn't matter. You're now down to 9.
Yeah.
And then he can start working those blocks. I can't see how the Wood Elves are going to get the player off. They get the ball off him.
Yeah, I just this team to me is in development.
It is. It is.
There's two AV8 warriors there. I think that's crucial. It's not a scary team. He's got a bit of down on movement. 2 of his players have lost movement. 2 players have lost armor. There's no Mighty Blow Claw. There's no tackle. Well, there's a bit of tackle, but like you've already said, there's not much dodge. I just look at the teams and then look at the records, and I'm pretty confident. Probably the most confident I've been in any of the games I've reviewed so far. So to worry for Professor X, I think they'll get it done. I really do. I think there's enough here to get it done, and he does have a Mighty Blow blitzer as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get the Mighty Blow in the right places, but he's hitting things where their armor buffs are strength 4. So there's an element of protection there. If this guy's leaving his armor 8 warrior out in the open to pick up 2 assists, then do you know what? He's going to lose. But I just think in the matchup, the Nurgle I personally feel is just going to be too much. The Nurgle is in development. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. He's got a long way to go. Another 200 TV on top of that, and you know what? We could have a nice team. He's not there. Is he going to win the pros? The CL? Sorry, that's a different question. I just think he could. He's only got 11 players to play.
Yeah.
Only got 11 players to play.
Yeah, I don't like having no bench, but I just think there's enough in this Hive team to get it done. I don't know why. I just feel really confident they can get it done. Probably means I'm completely wrong, but.
Well, I mean, you look at the High Elves again. I mean, I'm just flicking across. I know you're on your own screen, but we've got 3 movement 8 guys. One of them being a blitzer, one of them being a busted agility catcher, one of them being a catcher. Okay, so that's it. The rest, the Nurgle can arguably keep up with. Yeah, it's a movement behind, but he's not going to get run around silly by them. If they were running 3 catchers. Now it starts changing things a bit.
I don't know. I just really like the High Elves.
It's going to be a good game. It's a contrast. It's a massive contrast, and we like that.
You know, and what you got to remember is I am a Nurgle. Well, I play a Nurgle, so for me to turn around and think, "Oh, I really like these High Elves," I don't do that lightly. But I just like the High Elves. I'm sorry, but I just do. The final game then sees a coach I do know. Hey, the Blood of Amber, Alma Forever, who we played a game today. A lot of fun against the wee man of Kaiser 1979. I can't remember if I played that guy either. But let's have a look at Alma Forever's team first. It's only 1430. let's have a look how many players he does have. So he's added another
Can I
140 onto that. Go on.
point out that this guy, Alma, I mean, I get on well with him. I chat to him behind the scenes a bit. He's come in with a replacement team for a coach that had to leave for one reason or another, politics and whatever else. And he went 4-1-0, so he's played 5 games and made the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a very good player. We've had many clashes in the Champions Ladder, and like I said, we just had a scrap in another league as well. And you know what I like about him? I love his temperament, and he's really fun. I mean, I killed 3 of his players today. I killed 3 of them, including a witch elf. And, you know, he wasn't salty or nothing like that. Me and him had a laugh afterwards, you know. I had a terrible first half, he had a terrible second half, and we had a laugh and joke about it. And that, to me, I like coaches like that. I automatically want them to do well. He understood, he's just Blood Bowl, you know. He was one of my lesser kill teams. You know, he wasn't a kill team or anything like that. It's just the way it went. But we have a good sort of like chemistry, and I've seen him play obviously on the champion ladder. He does that well. Wherever he goes, he plays well. It's just a nice added bonus that he's a top guy as well. What I always like. He just played Dark Elves very well. That's his main team, so it doesn't surprise me that he's come in and just gone 4 wins, 1 draw, no losses, and he should be given a huge congratulations in getting that done. He's going to go up against dwarfs, so not a great matchup. But he turned around to me. He turned around to me, and I might get in trouble for this. He turned around to me and said, "I am going to drill these dwarfs. They will not know where I've gone. It's going to be bang bang, game over, boom, gone." He's basically guaranteed to me he's going through next round. So take that as you will. Alma's very confident type of guy. Some might class as arrogance, some will class it as confidence. Doesn't really matter. He's a great guy, and if he turns around to me and says, "I'm going to get it done," more times than not, he delivers. So I haven't looked at the dwarfs yet. We'll have a look in a minute. This Dark Elf team to me is nothing. It needs mass development. But he's one of those coaches who will take a team like this. What's okay, it's nothing special, but he'll make them punch above the weight. He does have 2 guard, what's always nice on a Dark Elf team. And he does have some movements. He's got 2 movement blitzers. The only problem is he only has 3 blitzers. 2 Witch Elves against Dwarfs is going to be a bit of a worry. But he may get... I mean, I don't know what the TV value of the Dwarfs is at the moment, but we'll have a look in a minute. But...
There's some stuff I like, there's stuff I don't.
What don't you like?
I don't like the fact he's got no Apo.
Yeah.
I don't like that. He to me, in a perpetual league, Apos you need to pick up so you can look after players, so you can progress forward. It might be a dead turns into a badly hurt. It might be a badly hurt turns into a sub. It could be a KO stays on the pitch.
Yeah.
The value that an Apo brings is far more than 50k across the season.
The reason why he hasn't got an Apo, and we had this conversation in our game we played today, his Appos are very similar to mine. They just kill people, and obviously I killed one of his players. The Apo came out and he was dead, and he said to me, "Bernie, this is why I just don't take Appos, because they just kill." Where with me, when he injured one of my players who was badly hurt, I just went, "You know what, my Appos are crap. I'm going to use it because it's an important piece and I know it works." So I just got it back on the pitch.
But sometimes if that's the approach, which is fine, I've got no issues with that. We all know it's a dice game. It's a 50% chance of him being okay. Arguably, it's a 66% chance because a missed next game is still okay.
Yeah.
Use him on the knockouts then. Keep a player on the pitch on the knockout. First knockout, Apo. What I do like about this, bearing in mind the matchup he's got, is he's running the 2 wrestle linemen. Dwarves hate wrestle. They hate it. The linemen have got no dodge, so he's not got any TV bloat there.
Yeah.
Witch Elves, personally I wrestle mine, he's wrestled his lineman. That's just a change of idea and tactic. Perfectly fine, no issues with that. The Fenn's going to be great, but the 2 Witch Elves bring a massive advantage in the respect the Dwarves now can't control the sidelines.
Yes.
They've both got control of the sidelines. but he can tie a Slayer up easier than we can tie up a Witch Elf.
Yeah, that is true.
Three Blitzers got no issues with that. You know, they'll do the business. Arguably speaking, the line elves are going to be getting in the way. You only need to blitz with 1 or 2 pieces. He's got the moves, the movement on those 2 blitzers, like War Dancers play, where you can keep one sort of central field, blitz with the other one, or set something up in a position for next time, blitz with that one, and still get back to safety.
Yeah, and he's also beat the Nagel team as well 2-1 as well. So he's got a bit of history in there. And ironically, if I'll just have a look at my booklet here, if the Blood of Amber, if these Dark Elves did win, as he said they would, and the Nagel, what you tipped, win, then they'll clash again. So, you know, well, like I said, Alma's a good coach. So
he is. The last thing I like is number 9. He's got a kick lineman.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can choose to kick short. If he needs that blitz, it could be, I don't know, turn 7, and he's thinking, they're not scoring in 2 turns. I'm going to kick short, because if I get that blitz, and it's a 1 in 12, I believe, if he gets that blitz, he's under the ball, he could score. Or he could say, do you know what, we're going to stick it backfield. You forced me to score early. I've scored in 5 or 6. I'm going to stick it at the backfield, because it's going to take you a month of Sundays to get it to the halfway line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very
That's
good.
where potentially, you know, that player could win the game.
Yeah. Right. Let's see his opponent. Wee Man. Or the Wee Men, I should say.
Wee Men.
Yeah,
Kaiser.
Wee Man. I think that's from Jackass, isn't it? 280k though. He is
yeah.
carrying 130k below. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's looking for a buy, isn't he? He's got some busted players there, but he's looking for a buy.
That's a lot. But yeah, I tell you what though, it's very bold thing for Albert to come out and say he's going to deliver, because this team is scary. I think this team's better than the Dark Elves.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I look at that. Some things jump out. It's a scary team. Dwarves and Dark Elves don't get on, just like Dwarves and Wood Elves don't get on. Dwarves to tackle and all the rest of it. But let's be honest. Let's break this down. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 5 tackle pieces. That's not actually that many for a Dwarf team.
No.
That means he's running 2 Slayers and 2 Runners and 2 Blitzers without tackle.
Yeah.
That's all of a sudden not as bad as it seemed on paper not long ago. He's got a Dwarf Runner there with Hail Mary Pass. Where's that ball going? Are you going to Hail Mary Pass to a Dark Elf team? It's not, because he's got catches downfield. That's a last ditch, get the ball out of dodge. But what else can? Dark Elves can do end zone to end zone in 1 turn without issue. So that could, I mean, if he plays clever, Alma plays clever, he'll lure a player back and say, well, go on then, you sling it downfield and see what happens.
You would like to think number 6 would keep the ball.
Yeah, you would. Movement 5 on a runner. He's got strength 4, agility 4. He's a slow vampire. The trouble with dwarves is they're heavy on position, they're moving forward, but it's when you get to turn 6, turn 7, turn 8, that's critical, because you need to be in range. And then when you're all of a sudden movement 5, well, actually that range is now a bit shorter. You've got to move forward 8 squares just to be able to go for it twice to score.
Yeah.
Yes, he can hand off to the other guy, but you know, the mighty blow's nice, the tackle's nice on the right places. Strength 4 Slayer's going to be working overtime.
Yeah.
Because he can do it on his own. Can he get back and recover? If he doesn't put him down, problem.
So who do you think?
Because he's now stuck.
Who do you think wins this match?
Alma.
Ooh, you seem very confident with that.
Yeah, I think that Kaiser's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. I just think Alma's got what it takes to be able to deal with the threat the dwarfs can pose. I think.
This is a tricky one.
It is tricky.
Because you see, I don't think I've seen Kaiser play, and I'm going back to the same thing with the Thunden thing, that I know one coach, I don't know the other. So I'm going to have to go by default and say Alma for 2 reasons. One, because I know Alma as a coach, and 2, Alma said to me he's going to drill these into the ground. Alma surely wouldn't lie to me. Surely not. So I'll go with the Dark Elves.
Both are playing with 11. Dark Elves have got no Apo, we know that. Dwarves are also playing with 11 now. We both know you can go a whole game without breaking armor, but he's got 4 armor 8 pieces on the field at one time.
Yep.
If one player goes down, Dwarves playing with 10 is horrible. The Dark Elves can play with 6. If he takes 2 casualties for one reason or another, be it a surf, casualty or knockout, it doesn't matter, he's down to 9. Then we've got panic times. Because they kind of need that block, that unit to work as a collective. And that's what makes them so good.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything to recover for the second half if it is bad.
Yeah. And the thing with Dwarfs is when they start losing pieces, then holes start to appear. That's the problem, isn't it? So we've seen all the teams then. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win it?
Let me just ponder that thought.
I'll tell you. I think the 2 what make the pros are the finalists. So we'll do it like this: the wood chippers, green meat, the orcs, whatever you want to call them, the orcs. Why would you put? I can't pronounce that, but I'm going to call it the die auctions, and then the wonderful women Ferrum maidens. One of them teams is going to make the final. Which one of them 4 makes the final?
Clown zombie.
So the wood chippers.
Yeah,
and
he'll get once he gets through. Once he gets through and he picks that tree back up, he's then playing Thunden or the
other orcs.
Orcs.
Yeah.
In which case, the tree's got a massive part to play in that, and he can exploit the agility. He can exploit what he needs to. And if I'm not wrong, doesn't he have home advantage for all the way through?
If
being the number 1 seed?
If the Discord, the way it's been done, is right, then yes, he will. So he'll have a wizard for all that time.
Every single round.
Every single time. So you're saying the wood chippers. Who plays them in the final? Is it Violent Sun, 313 Eagle, Blood of Amber, or the Wee Men?
Well, see, I can see our semi-final being Nurgle Dark Elves. Now, the issue you've got there is the damage that Dark Elves might have taken. I think Alma's a quality coach, but I think those Nurgle could potentially just kick their way to the finals. It's a tough one to call, but no Apo is playing a Bash team followed by another Bash team. If Alma does get to the final, I don't think he's going to have much left to give, but I think Nurgle will go into the final.
Right, okay. So, and
controversial, I know. But
out of them 2, the Clown Zombies, Wood Elves, and obviously the Nurgle, who wins the final?
Wood Elves win.
Right, okay.
The biggest threat to those Wood Elves, is Alma's Dark Elves.
Right, okay. Right, I'm going to go out on a limb here. What I like to do, I'm going to...
Controversial.
Well, it's me. I'm going to take Thunden's Amazons to make the final.
Wow.
Because I think what he'll do is, we know how nice of a guy Thunden is, but I can guarantee you now, if he gets into that next round against the wood chippers with the pros on the line, I can see them women pulling hair out, stamping on people's noodles, and various other atrocities. And I think he can get it done. So I'm going to take him into the final. The problem is at the other end. And ironically, I don't fancy the Nurgle out the 4. I think the High Elves will beat them. And I think maybe Alma might beat the Dwarf. So then it's a toss-up between Alma and the High Elves. Oh, and again, I don't know Professor X and I do know Alma. So I'm going to go with Alma. I've got to go with Alma, don't I? So Thunden's Zons versus Alma's Dark Elves, and the winner of the CL is Ferrum Maidens. Thunden is going to the pros as the champ.
I think That's interesting.
Is that a polite way of saying, Benny, you're absolutely crazy. There's no chance that's going to happen.
Well, I've just looked at something else that changes a lot of things.
What? We've just done the predictions. We can't change stuff now.
Well, we're still in the prediction stage. Looking at the TVs as it stands, Alma comes in under threshold on every single team. That means, barring loners, they're packing inducements. Wizards are golden for any elf team.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're right, he'll rock up against the woodchippers who have home advantage, and they've got wizards anyway. Three wizards.